What's up, everybody? I'm going to do a little experiment with my 2018 Road Glide and the Khrome Werks exhaust. I'm going to do, right now it's currently a 124 with a Woods cam and stock head pipe with the cat gutted out, and currently running the Khrome Werks 2-in-1, just like the location or the factory head pipe runs. Today I'm going to attempt to do a little ghetto rigging, I guess, little redneck ingenuity with the freeze plug to block the crossover to turn this into a 2-in-1 exhaust pipe. And not only that, I'm going to kind of mess with sound, really, more or less. So we're going to do crossover, or plug the crossover to do a 2-in-1. I'm also got a piece here for reducer, which the reducer I think is supposed to actually allow you to take the baffles out and run, and it brings back a little bit of low end torque or mid range torque, something like that. Something about back pressure, reversion, and all that stuff. So I'm going to do a little test on before I've messed with it, how it sits stock. I've got probably about 15,000 miles on this exhaust with the louvered baffles. They sound good. They rip good. Whenever I bought the pipes, there was no baffles in them, and I could tell immediately right off the gate that my low end suffered. The louvered baffles definitely helped bring all that back. I've also played around with multiple other Khrome Werks baffles. I actually have the HP baffles that I've been tinkering with right here. These are the HPs, or the spoon baffles, HP Performance spoon baffles. You can get these that are all the way closed, like this one, where it's completely shut. I've opened it halfway. I've opened this all the way. I've taken this out, ran one. I've done several, different combinations. And like I said, I saw this one and I figure I'd give it a shot. So I'm gonna let you see what it sounds like before I even mess with anything. We'll have a kind of like a baseline. This is a cold start, by the way. The phone is flipped to face me, so that's why everything looks like it's backwards. Okay, so we're under the bike, and it's loose. I didn't really tap it in there. I just pressed it up against there. And it's actually a really nice, snug fit. So I went ahead and grabbed the handy-dandy extension, and we're going to make sure this just sits in just a little bit further. And I'll be back. Alright, I pushed it in ever so slightly more. It seems to be pretty snug in there. I may actually go get a clamp and clamp it, or future down the road I'm going to go ahead and lodge it further in there just to make sure it doesn't necessarily come back out. Now this thing was only like $2.11 or something like that. Let's see if I can get the part number on there. It's a Dorman 55030. So, if you were curious about the part number or not. Anyways. Alright, well, it gave it a look that people hate. Apparently the missing exhaust there. But I don't know. I don't really. I've seen it with 2 exhausts this entire life, you know, since 2018. So something new may just grow on me. Who knows? But let's see how she sounds. So I'm not gonna lie, first impressions, at idle, it's quieter. It seems like it's not as loud, and it's not as deep. Now, when you hit the throttle, that's where the volume shoots straight up. It sounds good. Horsepower, torque difference, I don't know. It's just going to have to be off the seat dyno to kind of see. Okay, had to quit. I started rambling. Anyways, I'm going to have to finish this up pretty quickly because I got my neighbors decided that they're going to do some mowing today. And so what I'm going to end up doing, I took out the louver baffle. I'm going to put the other reducer in, and then go for a ride, kind of catch, you know, see what's going on or what it's doing. But I figured I'd first go ahead, give it a little sound test without the baffle on it. If you can hear it over the mowing. Okay, so even though so far the non-baffle just straight through was probably the deepest and more aggressive sound, I have a sneaky suspicion that it's, even with the 2-in-1 crossover that I just did, I bet I'm still going to lose some torque. So I went ahead and the reducer, and let's see how she sounds. Sorry if you guys can't hear very well. There's my neighbor next door is mowing right now. Okay, so far thoughts. At an idle, the 2-in-1 is still quieter. I've noticed that right out the gate. Or 2, it does feel like it's it's only going through one pipe, so it's throwing way more air through that one pipe, and it seems louder at a rev. Now, I'm going to go test drive this with the reducer in it first. Then I'm going to switch back to the louvered baffle. Either way, I still think I'm going to run a baffle of some sort in this bike. Just because I know that it performs better and the low end is going to be better with a baffle in it. So, thanks for watching. If you made it to the very end and listened to all my bullshit rambling, thank you. Seriously, thank you. And you guys have a great day. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to bug me enough to want to put the pipe back on, run the 2-in-2 looking system, lookings, I guess. But yeah, I think it sounds good with the 2-in-1. Actually, I think it sounds even better. It does seem louder with the 2-in-1 setup than the 1-in-2. That's just my thoughts, my opinion. Somebody else can prove me wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, this sounds pretty good. I like the louvered baffle over the reducer. I may even try the HP baffles next. Just throw it in just to see what happens, and then play with the different adjustments, closed, mid-open, and full open, just to kind of get an idea. I will say this, as far as power goes, I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of difference. I do think I still lost the low end torque. And it felt like my power band was coming in later. Usually pops in around 25 to 2800 RPMs is when I start to kind of feel it climb. It took closer to 3200 RPMs to get back in that pulling power band. Seat dyno, not proven fact, just what I have felt. But yeah, I would say that this is something, if somebody wants just to do a 2-in-1 system, this is a quick and easy and cheap way to do it. Thanks, bye.